Hello everyone and welcome back into this Madman's library as I talk you through some of the cursed compendiums, the monstrous manuscripts and the like that we have collected here over the years. Collected and read so we can inspire you hopefully to pick up a book, maybe even the book we're talking about. It's not necessarily a review, it's more of an overview of the book itself, how it's laid out. Forgive me for that. How it's laid out and what kind of content it actually contains. As I found myself when I was buying some of these books, today's in particular, I would have liked a bit more information about it before I started and not necessarily a review. Just a few pieces of information about what the book actually was. And if you can hear outside, it started raining, which is an ill omen for today's book. Now, tell me, have you ever wanted to bust ghosts? I know as a child I certainly did, and a little bit of me today still dreams of being able to. And the reason I say that is because, well, that's kind of what today's book is based on. Today's book is Tobin's Spirit Guide. And Tobin's Spirit Guide isn't necessarily, well, it is a book, but it's not a book. Tobin's Spirit Guide is a prop from the Ghostbusters movie. So in the movie Ghostbusters, or in the whole Ghostbusters series, there was a fellow J.H. Tobin. Oh, that's not good, is it? J.H. Tobin was a supernatural scholar who studied ghosts and spirits and documented them. And in the series, Ray and Egon own Tobin's Spirit Guide. And they mention it a few times, and they even mention, particularly I think in the animated series, the real Ghostbusters, that they read this whenever they want to get some information on a spook, spirit or spectre that they've not yet run into to try and figure out how to bust it. And this is a sort of version of that. Someone's taken the time to write their own Tobin's Spirit Guide. My particular copy, and one of the reasons I bought it, on top of just being a guide about ghosts, is it says, written by Raymond Stantz, PhD, Egon Spendler, PhD, and Peter Venkman, PhD. So it's full-on Ghostbusters lore, followed up by ghost facts. However, I found myself a little bit disappointed in this because its biggest strength is really just its quantity. Most of this book is just an A to Z of different spirits, and you get maybe anywhere from 2 lines about a spirit to maybe a page and a half for the particularly big nasty ones. And that's it, no real information about them, more just a summary. And I'm going to be honest, I found more information about certain things on the back of novelty crisp packets than I have for some of the entries in this. Now, what it does have that you might find interesting really is just a foreword and a little piece by, there we go, an afterthought by the Ghostbusters. So there's an afterthought by Dr. Peter Venkman, in which he mentions it and then lets a few tidbits slide about the Ghostbusters themselves, some of the adventures they had, and then you get a foreword by Ray, which is nice. Maybe in my opinion not what the book's worth, not worth it for the book, but still interesting if you're a fan. On top, really the A to Z, which is what this is just an A to Z of spirits. The interesting part is the classification of spirits. So at the very beginning you just get known spirits, which according to the book most if not all of the spirits listed within will fall into. So commonalities between each type. or different types, followed by then a class. So there's type and then there's class, and class is typically just how powerful they are, really. So the higher the class, the more powerful the ghost is. But yeah, that's it. Just a fictional author's fictional book made flesh. And honestly, I don't, you know, quite easy enough to read through, not a lot to get through, but also not a lot of style, you know, not a lot going on. The cover maybe attempted it, but it could have been so much more than just blank white pages with a bit of black text on. No images, no symbology, nothing to catch the eye. So that's it. Maybe if you just want something to put on your shelf that has the Ghostbusters name on it, or just something absolutely chocked full of spirits to keep yourself entertained, maybe this is it for you. But if you want any real information or anything in depth, it might not be. But that's down to you to decide now after you've seen it. But thank you for joining me today in the library. Please leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time for our next book. Bye for now.